Happy holidays, everybody. Before we get into the video, just a few things. We added some more shows to my Europe and UK tour. We added a third show in London and some late shows to Amsterdam, Dublin, and Berlin. And tickets are available for those shows right now. Also, my Australia and New Zealand tour starts next month, and there's still some tickets available for those shows, so don't sleep. Grab those tickets while you can. There's also a huge end-of-year merch sale going on my website right now. We've got holiday items. We restocked some old items. Some older items are on sale. Ticket links and merch stuff, all of that is on my website. So click the link in the description and enjoy the video. Folks, I have made a Christmas-themed video every year for the past 6 years. And this year, I honestly was not planning on making one. I hadn't found like a weird enough movie yet, and I'm also working on like a longer video that'll be out next month. So I figured I would just put all my focus on that and just skip the Christmas video this year. And then, just like every year, an absolutely insane Christmas movie falls in my lap, and I have no choice. Here I am, yet again, making a video about a bad Christmas movie. Can you believe it? It's a Christmas miracle! And this particular movie was especially odd because all the other Christmas movies I've covered in the past, they've all been entirely fictional stories. At least I hope. But this one is based on a true love story. Baby, just say yes. That's right, Lifetime, in their infinite quest to shove holiday slop into the mouths of middle-aged women all over the world, released a movie called Christmas in the Spotlight. A movie that follows a famous blonde pop star who falls in love with a successful NFL player. Sound familiar? Of course it does. Lifetime took many aspects of the real-life relationship between pop star Taylor Swift and football player Travis Kelce and used it to craft their very own original Christmas movie. And I thought it'd be fun to watch it, make a quick little video about it today, because shockingly, this movie is not good. I should say off the top here, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Swiftie. I don't usually bump her music in my free time, but I'll admit she's got some bangers.
I'm still a thug, I'm so gangsta.
I actually tried getting tickets to one of her 6 shows here in Toronto, but at the last minute, I decided instead to use that ticket money to put a down payment on a 6-bedroom home. Those tickets are expensive is what I'm saying. And also there wasn't even general admission at the concert, and like,
I finna be in the pit.
just wanted to say that off top before we get into this video. Swifties, I am not your enemy. Leave me alone. And also, while I was scripting this video, I learned that Christmas in the Spotlight isn't the only Taylor Swift / Travis Kelce inspired Christmas movie that was released this year. There's another one called Hallmark's Holiday Touchdown, A Chiefs Love Story. That one focuses more on the actual Chiefs football team. But watching the first few seconds of the trailer for that movie fully confirms that we have successfully transitioned into late-stage capitalism.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to midfield.
From Hallmark and the NFL.
That might be the craziest collab of all time. Hallmark and NFL? What? I need a movie about that, actually. Those are fucking polar opposites in my mind, dude. Giving someone a card to tell them how much they love you versus running full speed at someone so hard that you die. Link up of the century, dude. That's honestly, Hallmark and the NFL, straight up, that's like if Drake did a feature on Not Like Us. Like, dude, you guys are enemies. What's going on? Without further ado, let's watch Christmas in the Spotlight. The movie opens on the Taylor Swift character filming a music video. And her name is Bowen Sykes. Just bad. just a bad name. That name reminds me of that picture of that like expecting mother with the chalkboard behind her with all the names, right? Haley, McCarty, Navy, Maylee, and then Lacken. Bowen ought to be on there too, dude. Just a bad name. Bad name. Everybody say it at the same time. Bad name. But in this scene, we find out that Bowen just broke up with her movie star ex-boyfriend, Hudson.
And how you're so over Hudson, you don't care that he's jingling his bells around every supermodel. He can deck his halls with any dancer, prancer, and vixen he wants.
In this scene, we also find out that she has a Christmas album coming out, and people are not that interested.
Pre-sales aren't looking good.
Mira, I'm not doing it for the sales. I'm doing it for the fans.
And this is one of the things they messed up about this movie's version of Taylor Swift. If Taylor Swift made a Christmas album, dude, pre-orders would not be flopping, okay? That album would fucking crush. Even if it was just an hour of her saying the word Christmas over and over again, be #1, no problem. Also, at the same time, I don't think Taylor Swift would ever put out a Christmas album. I think she would put out 14 Christmas albums, each one a little bit different than the last. So we've met the Taylor Swift character. Now it's time we meet the Travis Kelce character.
To be this good and this pretty?
His name is Drew Gonville, but everybody calls him Gonzo. And I can only assume he's named Drew because of the song Teardrops on My Guitar.
Drew looks at
Drew, just like his real-life counterpart, also has a brother in the NFL. But in this movie, the two brothers, they're on the same team. And Drew's brother is named Rob. And in real life, Travis and Jason Kelce, they have a podcast together. And I was fucking really hoping we'd get an awesome podcast scene in this movie, but sadly, it doesn't happen. How long is it gonna be? When is there gonna be a fucking podcast-themed Christmas movie? A movie about Joe Rogan finding the meaning of Christmas? Headphone holiday? There's a name for you. Lifetime. Do it! Sorry, back to the movie. We then cut to Drew celebrating his niece's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Gonzo.
You gotta back me up.
Hey, don't give him a hard time. You know what? He loves vacuuming. Actually, one of the reasons I married him.
Okay, yeah. This girl looked familiar when I first watched this movie. When I first watched it, I did the fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Leonardo DiCaprio thing. So I looked this actor up, and that's when I realized this is the TikToker who made that tone-deaf Let Them Eat Cake TikTok at the Met Gala.
Let them eat cake.
And then a bunch of people got really mad, and then she lost like hundreds of thousands of followers and shit. You know, not to reduce someone to their very public mistakes, but that's where I know them from. And this just goes to show you, man, cancel culture is not real. You can do something that pisses off the entire internet, lose hundreds and thousands of followers. You can still go on to have a supporting role in a made-for-TV Lifetime Christmas movie. So Drew's niece is a big Bowen Sykes fan. So she has this big Bowen Sykes themed party, including a dance performance to one of her songs. Well, if I was Taylor Swift, I would take full offense to this. This song is ass, dude. It's gotta suck when a movie is like trying to imitate your art and the thing they do sucks. That's like if some fucking idiot made a movie about me and then my YouTube videos in the movie were just like, you ever fart so hard you shit on your balls? Now that I actually say that out loud, that's actually, I feel like I've probably said that before. Still, I feel like this is a diss to Taylor Swift. And then Drew surprises his niece with some tickets to a Bowen Sykes concert.
Oh my Bowen Sykes at her concert!
And that is pretty realistic because I think you need an NFL player's salary at the very least to afford Taylor Swift tickets.
You're killing me, man. Those are so expensive. I'm trying to raise a kid with some values.
Also, shit dad, dude. What values are you teaching your daughter? That you don't value her? If my dad was in the NFL and he didn't buy me concert tickets to my favorite artist, I'd give him a concussion before he got the chance to in one of his fucking football games, dude. But anyways, they make it to the concert, and this is when we find out that Drew has a big crush on Bowen.
He knows all her songs, and he totally has a crush on her.
What?
And I know he's like also a celebrity, so it isn't that weird. Like, it's not far out of the realm of possibility for him, but I don't know. It is objectively funny to have a crush on a celebrity. I'm just picturing Drew driving his car, and then whenever a Bowen Sykes song comes on the radio, he's just like,
This is my time to shine.
You should ask Bowen out.
Yeah, right. Come on. Like, I would have a chance with her. I'm just a dumb goof.
she'll never like me. I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a piece of shit. I don't even deserve to live. After the show, Bowen is doing a meet and greet with some kids from a hospital.
You were incredible. The show is incredible. The shirt is incredibly expensive.
And I guess she is still charging the sick kids for her merch, which is pretty wild, but you know, get the bag.
Are you guys from the hospital too?
No, we just snuck in.
Okay.
I'm a bomber.
Yeah, so he's sorry, I didn't say that. The fictional team he plays for is called the Bombers.
I'm a bomber.
I also think Bowen needs some new security because this huge man just snuck into her meet and greet by going like, shh.
So now we're just gonna shh.
That's another inaccuracy compared to the real life Taylor Swift. You would not be able to sneak into a Taylor Swift meet and greet. Even if someone just has the thought of sneaking into a Taylor Swift meet and greet, a red laser would appear on their forehead immediately, dude. So Drew introduces himself, you know, they talk a little bit, he freaks out, he drops his phone, they take a picture together, and then she leaves.
Who's that?
Just some guy.
I'm never gonna have cousins, am I?
Gross. Next day, he posts a selfie he took on his Instagram story and publicly invites Bowen to one of his games. Meanwhile, Bowen and her manager are getting lunch, and she presses Bowen for not knowing who Drew was when she met him.
He's only the best wide receiver in the world.
But like, also her manager was also looking right at him.
Who's that?
And she's apparently a huge Bombers fan. That's like a huge part of her character.
Bombers Day Oneer, baby.
I don't know why she's upset, because she also didn't know who he was.
Who's that?
I just wish I could meet my favorite football player, Drew Gonville. Hey, I'm Drew Gonville. Who the fuck are you? Next day, Drew is hanging out with his niece when he gets a call from Bowen. But his niece answers the phone and drops an iconic Taylor Swift reference.
I'm sorry, Uncle Gonzo can't come to the phone right now. He's dead.
He's dead. He was actually a real-life bomber. So they start talking on the phone. They seem to be hitting it off.
I Googled you, and you're quite the wild boy.
Oh, that must be my evil twin brother.
Why am I nervous?
Hey, Jesus, man. Chill. They then drop another Taylor Swift reference.
Growing up, I was never really the cheerleader type. More of a bleacher girl.
Like the song! They then organize a date for the next day, and this whole sequence just doesn't make any sense to me. He gets picked up in a big SUV and he's told to put on a disguise, you know, to keep everything secret. This is by far the most realistic depiction we've gotten of Taylor Swift thus far in the film, because their first date is on a private jet. Bold move inviting a self-proclaimed bomber onto a plane, but
A bomber.
to each their own. Maybe the planes were the inspiration for Bowen's name, right? Bowen, Boeing, you know, there's something there. And it's not the door of the plane, because that flew off. And also, what the fuck was the point of his Santa disguise? He was in a car with tinted windows and then brought to a private airplane hangar. Does Bowen want people thinking that she's fucking Santa? And now that would be a good PR move. That would be huge news, man. Imagine if some like paparazzi pictures came out of like Sabrina Carpenter and she's like making out with Santa. Back to the movie. They never actually fly anywhere on the jet, so that's not very realistic to the real life Taylor Swift. But they just sort of chill on it. They watch a movie, they kiss. And then we find out a little bit more about Bowen.
So what does bring you joy?
Puzzles bring me joy. I don't know, I love how everything fits together perfectly and creates this beautiful picture.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much everything you can say about puzzles. You you just described what puzzles are. Why do you love Jenga so much? I've just always loved how there's a bunch of blocks stacked on top of each other and you have to pull one out one at a time and make sure it doesn't fall over, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. The date goes on for a little bit longer, and then they drop the fucking cliche rom-com dialogue.
I promise not to fall in love with you.
And I promise not to fall in love with you.
I wonder if they're gonna fall in love with each other. The next day, Bowen's ex-boyfriend Hudson shows up. He's a big Hollywood movie star, so I'm assuming Hudson is supposed to be the Jake Gyllenhaal character, I guess. Kinda looks like him.
You still mad at me?
A little later, during their second date, Drew is cooking lasagna for them, and he's really struggling.
Make sure cheese has reached golden crispy bubbles. That, what does that even mean?
Okay, yeah. I think he actually might be dumb as fuck, dude. Golden crispy, what does that even mean? Supposed to put gold in here? I was gonna chip my tooth! But then their date is interrupted by Drew's teammates barging into the house, so Bowen has to run and hide outside.
Okay, hide.
This is when Drew is starting to have some doubts about this whole thing.
Oh, that was a close call.
I don't know if I can keep this up anymore.
Dude, it's your second date! What the fuck, man? I can't keep living like this. Believe it or not, somehow, Drew finds it in himself to keep dating this girl after the second date, and Bowen ends up coming over for their family Thanksgiving dinner.
You know, you're good at this. I love to bake.
You know, there's something about mixing a bunch of ingredients together and putting it in the oven for a while. I don't know, it's tough to explain. Also, this TikToker was probably sweating on set before filming this scene, dude. So in this scene, you're gonna be making dessert with Bowen. What kind of dessert? It's not cake, is it? No, why?
Haley Bailey just accidentally started a revolution against the rich and famous.
so sorry.
So this year's and she also made a video where she used the sound saying,
Hello? Sorry. Oh my god, your nose is bleeding. I said I was sorry! Later that night, Drew and Bowen have a steamy makeout sesh, which I gotta say, it's a pretty wild thing to do after a Thanksgiving meal. You gotta be freaky as hell to do that shit, dude. You wanna make out? Hope you don't mind a bunch of turkey burps and ham farts. Full transparency here, I am skipping through like 50% of the scenes in this movie because it's mostly just pointless dialogue with the occasional football or Taylor Swift reference. This movie feels like someone was given only 3 days to write a Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce movie script, but then they got trapped in a well for 2 of those days, so they only had like a few hours to write the whole thing.
Let's freaking go.
So after a quick montage of the two of them doing coupley stuff together, we got to a scene in the locker room with Drew, and all of his teammates are talking about how Bowen has brought like so many new fans to the NFL.
What is it down? It's like a chance. Like when a boy is a jerk and lets you down, but you give him another chance.
Girl only understand football when explain it to them like dating boys. That's all they know. What the fuck, man? Ladies, listen, a field goal is like when your boyfriend buys you flowers, but a 2-point conversion is when your boyfriend buys you flowers and the mani-pedi. This is what they think of Swifties, man. That's fucked up. That's fucked.
She's bringing all these new fans to the game. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, I don't care what her motivations are, so long as she doesn't pull focus from the game.
Yeah, because people watch football for the sport. That's what I call a tight end. Bounce a quarter off that thing and get your quarter back. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Okay, this next scene is really great. Follows Drew as he attends this fancy gala as Bowen's +1. And he offers to hang back and let Bowen, you know, go off and be social, right? Network and everything.
I think I'm gonna hang back. I don't want to third wheel your convo, you know?
So Bowen does that.
Thank you so much. I'll be right back.
And then, a little while into the evening, he approaches Bowen and asks if they can leave because he's not having a good time.
Are you not having fun?
Not really. Everyone here thinks I'm a dumb jock. Like, no one here takes me seriously.
And it's super funny that he says that no one is taking him seriously, because literally the montage right before he says that features him spending the entire night eating other people's food and flexing his pecs for strangers. Of course they didn't take you seriously, you fucking idiot, dude. That's like going to a job interview with your dick out and then being confused why you didn't get the job. Come with me, you're under arrest. For what? Being confident in a job interview? It's McDonald's and your dick is out, man. Turn around, I gotta put these cuffs on you. Fine, put those handcuffs on me. But don't get mad at me when I get a boner. So after Drew complains about people thinking he's an idiot after being a fucking idiot, Bowen tries comforting him.
But that's what's so great about you. You don't take things too seriously.
And Drew, being a fucking idiot, takes this as an insult.
Yeah, right. Being an idiot is totally my thing.
Drew storms off. Bowen runs into her ex-boyfriend Hudson, and they have a little argument at the bar.
What are you doing with that ball boy? What is this, some kind of big PR stunt?
That's it, exactly. I'm just pretending to be with some big dumb jock to get the football fans to buy my albums and get asked to play at the big game.
Damn, I hope she wasn't secretly recorded and that gets clipped out of context later in the movie. Shockingly, Drew and Bowen make up immediately right after the gala, and the next day, Drew gets a phone call from a rival football team offering him a huge, expensive contract.
They offered me a 5-year contract at double my salary.
Oh my God!
No more flying back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, but you love the Bombers.
She loves that private jet, huh? She was so happy until Drew mentioned not having to fly back and forth all the time. Oh my God, this is perfect. You should take that contract. I think I will. This is amazing. You won't have to fly in your private jet every single day. Tell them no. So this proposed contract is like one of the main plot points going forward in this movie. He wants to go to the other team because they'll pay him more and he'll be closer to Bowen. But his brother doesn't want him to leave the team because they're brothers.
You're thinking about abandoning your team?
And Bowen doesn't want him to move to LA because she's worried that he's gonna stop liking her.
What if he moves here and he hates me?
And I'm gonna be honest, it is really hard to give a shit about any of this. Oh no, your millionaire NFL family won't live in the same town anymore? Oh no! No! However will you go on? And okay, if he goes to LA and he stops liking you, oh no, you guys have been dating for like a week. I also don't know why I'm getting so mad. I had zero expectations for this film because it is a Lifetime movie based on a relationship that started last year. So Bowen is complaining about all this to her manager, and then she drops another epic Taylor Swift reference. Oh, yeah.
You know all too well that all too well.
Meanwhile, Drew and his brother yell at each other about football.
All I've done is support you. Then you should be happy for me.
When I was watching this movie, in my head, every single minute, I was like, can you guys be fucking adults for 1 second? Figure your shit out. It's fine. Take the contract or don't, literally. All right, I'm gonna try to speed through the rest of this bullshit. Drew goes back inside after talking to his mommy when something terrible happens.
In a leaked conversation between Bowen and her ex-boyfriend, Bowen Sykes admits that she was just using him as a publicity stunt.
I'm just pretending to be in love with this big dumb jock so that the football fans will buy my albums and I'll get asked to play at the big game.
Yeah, and again, since Drew is a dumb little man baby, he immediately believes it without talking to Bowen, so now he's super mad at her.
Drew won't even answer my calls.
Then go to him. Tell him the truth. He'll believe you.
What if he doesn't?
Oh my God.
Oh, then he doesn't. I don't know. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, guys. You know the fucking plot of your movie is bad when all of the conflict is, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens, though? Like, could you imagine the movie Whiplash? The movie Whiplash, but everything goes fine, and the only conflict was Andrew being like, oh my God, could you imagine if Fletcher was me? Anyways, Bowen tries to explain to Drew that she was being sarcastic when she was saying those things to Hudson.
The way I feel about you is not a stunt, Drew.
But I assume the word sarcastic is beyond his reading level, so he breaks up with her.
Sometimes the pieces just don't quite fit.
All right, we're almost at the end. Thank fucking God. The next day, Rob's wife comes downstairs and she's freaking out about something that she saw on her phone.
Hey, have you guys seen this?
And it's not a bunch of backlash to an insensitive TikTok she made. It's actually a news report saying that Hudson's assistant came forward with the full audio.
She was telling the truth.
She was really telling the truth.
Even though I'm sure anyone with half a fucking brainstem could have figured that out. We then get one final Taylor Swift reference when Drew's niece gives him a friendship bracelet that reads,
"Even in the darkest night, I'm gonna shine, shine, shine."
Sorry, so a bunch of pointless bullshit happens at a Christmas gala.
Why they gotta be so mean?
Bowen sings a new song that she wrote about Drew.
My love is a gift that I'm giving to you.
And she gives a big speech to Drew to win him back.
I don't know what the future holds, but as long as I'm holding on to you, I promise I won't fumble again.
Is that a pinky promise?
Of course. She gives a full fucking speech, and the second she mentions a football thing, Drew is like, "Oh no, I get it."
I will always be your biggest cheerleader. Always.
You know, these scenes happen a lot in rom-coms and shit, with like a big display of love right in front of a big crowd, and then it's the two characters just talking to each other. Like, what's the crowd supposed to do during all that, right? I would love if halfway through this, someone in the crowd was just like, "Yo, we can't fucking hear you." They get back together, and the movie ends with a nice family Christmas scene. Everybody lives happily ever after.
Touchdown!
Football! All right, and that was Christmas in the Spotlight. In terms of Christmas movies I've covered on this channel, definitely not the worst one, but it's clear that they threw this together very quickly, and I'm well aware this movie was not made for me. If I was a middle-aged mother, I would be foaming out of every single one of my holes. But like, I don't even think a hardcore Swiftie would even like this movie. It kind of like trivializes their real life relationship in a weird way, and here and there it kind of made like weird little jabs at Taylor Swift's like dating history and shit. I don't know, it just felt a little weird at times. And I hope this doesn't become a trend in the Christmas movie landscape, you know? What's next? Are we gonna see a Christmas reimagining of Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain's relationship called Smells Like Christmas Spirit? Because if so, sign me up, okay? That actually sounds fucking awesome. You know what? Over the past few years, I know Taylor Swift has been putting out the Taylor's version of all of her albums to like regain control and ownership of her art. And I don't think this movie is exempt from that. If people are making these movies about her personal life and relationships, I feel like she shouldn't let that slide. So Taylor Swift, if you're watching this, you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time. Next Christmas, you need to put out a movie called Christmas in the Spotlight, in brackets, Taylor's version, so I can make a video about that one, okay? Thank you. In conclusion, Christmas in the Spotlight, I'm gonna give a score out of 100. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this little video, everybody. Pretty sure this is going to be my final video of 2024, so I just wanted to be sincere for a second and, you know, thank all of you for the support. Not only this year, but all the years that I've been doing this. 2024 was a really cool year, so thank you. This year I was on a billboard in Times Square. I turned 30, hit 5 million subscribers, I finished the first leg of my very first world tour, and announced a bunch more shows in Australia, and New Zealand, Europe, and UK. I put out a free comedy special on my YouTube channel. And this year, I've made, I think, some of the best content I've ever made. That's not really saying a lot, obviously, but I don't know. I've just never been more proud of the videos that I'm making currently. And obviously the support from you guys encourages me and helps me so much to just always try to be better with each upload. So thank you. And thank you for watching, truly. I don't know, man. Just feel very lucky and appreciative. I don't know. Is that okay? I have the coolest, most beautiful and loving wife in the world. I got the cutest dog in the world. And I get to do what I love for a living. So all jokes aside for a second, thank you for the ongoing support. I hope this year was also great for you. Hope you enjoy your holiday season, you know, have a fun, safe, happy new year, and I'll see you in 2025. Come see me on tour in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and UK. Tickets in my description. Okay, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Go watch this video. It's like my favorite video I made this year. Go click it right now. Watch it. Thank you. Bye.